Hi, my name is Marshall Polk, and when I was born with bilateral hearing loss. And so, at the end of this video, I want you guys to feel more educated about me and knowing what it's like being a deaf kid. I I got my first hearing aids at I want to say 3 years old. Before then, my mom was talking to me using sign language. And so, when I got my first hearing aids, I told my mom to stop signing me because I could hear now. And when I moved down here, we went to Chapel Hill for like some screening tests on my hearing, basically. And so I did good. And then I did good, for about a year. By the time I got to kindergarten, my hearing in my right ear dropped. And when it dropped, the hearing aid in my right ear was no longer effective. So I couldn't hear out my right ear. So I ended up getting a cochlear implant, which looks like this. You got the magnet right here that's attached to my head, and you got the hook so it can hook to my ear. When I hear a lot better with my cochlear implants. I got my first one in kindergarten, and I had to get surgery. I had to get surgery just to get the magnet to stick. And it was so funny because I would tell people I got a magnet in my head when in reality I did and I didn't. It's kind of a complicated step. And so I was I was hearing well, and then by the time I got to 5th grade, the hearing in my left ear dropped, and I had to get a cochlear implant in my left ear. And so I would go back to the audiologist for some screenings to make sure I was hearing good. Those are pretty boring. They're boring. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. I'm not gonna lie. They're boring. I hate going there because they're really boring. And so, the life, what's it like being a deaf kid is, to me, I think it's normal, minus the part I can't hear. You know, I can talk with hearing assistant. I can do everything else you guys can do. And so, I gotten used to it. I'm at the point in my life where there's certain vibrations I can feel if I put my hand through on my wall, and or like on my floor, certain steps, and like touch. I can touch and I can feel a lot of stuff. And yeah, I know this might not seem like much to you guys, but it's just a lot. And at times, I would get frustrated when I couldn't hear because it was like, why me? Like I run track, and you see, when I go certain speed, when I go so fast, my implant comes off. Sometimes it comes off in the middle of the race. In the middle of a race, sometimes it doesn't. And when it comes off in the middle of a race, it's like a panic because I gotta find it. If I don't, these things cost money. Like each cochlear implant is like $2,000 a year, and so they're expensive, and I gotta find it, and it's just tough. I say my biggest challenge being deaf is insecurity. I guess to you guys, just like how, but you see, when you got two cochlear implants sticking on your head and you walk out in public, it's kind of hard for you not to think what other people are thinking right now. I know from little kids especially, I get asked the questions, what are those things on your head? Or you got hearing aids, or I thought only old people could wear hearing aids. And depending on how they ask it, I would be I would explain to them. If they asked me and they was rude, then I'm not gonna lie, I'll give a rude response back. But if they ask me and they genuinely want to know, I go into detail, go into depth, and about how this whole thing works. I really do hope you guys feel more educated about me, knowing more about me, and knowing that I am a kid with a hearing loss. That's the big one that I tell a lot of my teachers at school, that I have a hearing loss, so don't freak out when you first see me. Or don't stare. That's rude. Staring is rude. I hate it when people stare at me. Yeah. I hope you guys feel educated. Well, I hope you guys learn more about me.